The COVID-19 spread is blamed on China, which is disputable, till proved, but yes, we cannot rule out the imperialistic dreams China harnesses, and thanks to its economic prosperity, has managed to bully neighbors into relinquishing their claims on some of their disputed border territories too. The expansionist policies of China are aimed at it becoming the next superpower. So friends, let's have a look at its expansionist claims. China has been harboring sinister claims on its neighbors' territories and has slowly been working towards it through muscle power and sometimes through its economic dominance. Have you any idea as to how many countries it stakes claims on? But before we start, we would like to mention that China is one country with the largest number of neighbor countries with which it shares its borders with. That is, it shares borders with 14 countries as can be seen in the map and shares nearly 22,000 kilometers of land borders with them. Though China shares borders with 14 countries, it stakes claim on territories of 23 countries of the world, all of which it has made painfully clear it is willing to go to war over. Out of these 23 countries China stakes claim on, the 14 countries it shares borders are North Korea, Russia, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. Out of these 23 countries, the 9 countries it does not share borders but has territorial claims or disputes are Brunei, Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, and Cambodia. Now, let's have a look at all these 23 countries and their border disputes with China, or should we say, the imperialistic territorial claims of China on them. We have tried to go alphabetically, so here we go. We start with China's claim on Afghanistan. Chinese claim on Afghanistan includes the Afghan province of Badakhshan. Now we go to its next neighbor, Bhutan. Chinese claim on Bhutan includes the Bhutanese enclaves in Tibet, Kulakangri and mountainous areas to the west of this peak, plus the western Haa district of Bhutan as shown in the map in orange. In fact, China has recently doubled down its claims on eastern Bhutan after a démarche from Bhutan protesting a Chinese claim on Saktor Wildlife Sanctuary. Chinese claim in Brunei is centered on the South China Sea, especially Spratly Islands. China claims large areas of Burma on historical precedent. It claims that during the dynastic rule of the Yuan dynasty in 12th and 13th century, the areas in green were a part of China. The same goes with Cambodia. China has, on occasion, claimed parts of Cambodia on historical precedent that the area shown in blue were its part during its Ming dynasty, in the 14th and 15th century. Besides, it has dispute with Cambodia on South China Sea as well. We now come to India, with which it has been having major border disputes and both have even had wars fought on it. In fact, China has repeatedly been threatening and encroaching on its territories. The first of which is Aksai Chin, comprising parts of Ladakh. The other disputed territory lies south of the McMahon Line, called Arunachal Pradesh. There are also a few small scattered claims on other areas as well near the state of Sikkim and Uttarakhand. Its disputes with Indonesia are centered on parts of the South China Sea. The border disputes with Japan include parts of the East China Sea, particularly the Senkaku Islands. And on occasion, the Ryukyu Islands too, on the grounds that the completely independent kingdom of Ryukyu was once a vassal state of China. In Kazakhstan, there are continual unilateral claims by China on its territory, despite new agreements in China's favor, signed every few years. China claims the majority of Kyrgyzstan on the grounds that it was unfairly forced to cede the territory to Russia in the 19th century. China claims large areas of Laos on historical precedent that it belonged to its Yuan dynasty in the 13th and 14th century. Disputes with Malaysia are centered on parts of the South China Sea, particularly the Spratly Islands. China claims all of Mongolia on historical precedent as being part of the Yuan dynasty. The fact is, Mongolia, under Genghis Khan, had occupied China. China claims parts of Nepal dating back to the Sino-Nepalese War in 1788 to 1792. China claims they are part of Tibet, therefore part of China. In North Korea, China claims Baekdo Mountain and Jeondeo. China has also on occasion claimed all of North Korea on historical grounds that it was part of the Yuan dynasty. Some territory on Sino-Pakistan border is still unilaterally claimed by China, despite China signing numerous agreements with Pakistan. Disputes with Philippines are on parts of the South China Sea, particularly Scarborough Shoal and the Spratly Islands. It has not spared Russia either. 160,000 square kilometers of Russia is still unilaterally claimed by China, despite China signing numerous agreements. Most of Siberia is claimed by China too. Disputes with Singapore are centered on parts of the South China Sea. Border disputes with South Korea include parts of the East China Sea. China has also on occasion claimed all of South Korea on historical grounds as being part of it during the Yuan dynasty. Though China claims all of Taiwan, but particular disputes are Macclesfield Bank, Paracel Islands, Scarborough Shoal, Senkaku Islands, parts of the South China Sea and the Spratly Islands. China claims parts of Tajikistan on historical precedent of it being part of its Qing dynasty. China claims large parts of Vietnam on historical precedent that it was part of it under the Ming dynasty. Also disputes between them are there for Macclesfield Bank, Paracel Islands, parts of the South China Sea and the Spratly Islands. A major conflict which draws international attention is its Tibet occupation. China maintains that Tibet is an inalienable part of China. Tibetans maintain that Tibet has historically been an independent country. In reality, the Chinese government's claim that Tibet has been a part of China for around 800 years, is however not supported by the facts. Tibet was not ruled by the Chinese government prior to the 1950 invasion. In 1912, the 13th Dalai Lama, Tibet's political and spiritual leader, issued a proclamation reaffirming Tibet's independence, and the country maintained its own national flag, currency, stamps, passports and army. It signed international treaties and maintained diplomatic relations with neighboring countries. From a legal point of view, Tibet remains an independent state under illegal occupation, a fact that China wishes it could whitewash from history. Most surprising is that the total claimed area by China on other countries far exceeds the size of modern China itself, but Beijing refuses to budge on its claims. Since 1949, the People's Republic of China has laid claim to numerous areas of land, ranging from tiny islands right through to whole provinces, much to the chagrin of its neighbors. Some of these disputes were solved amicably, others resulted in all-out war, and many continue to simmer. As the country's economic power has risen, so too has its spending on its armed forces, which it increasingly deploys to further its territorial claims. As China's power grows, it is increasingly confident in challenging its neighbors. Additionally, China once taunted Hillary Clinton about claiming territorial rights on Hawaii. China even claimed that Chinese sailors had settled peacefully in Australia centuries before European discovery. And let's not forget its supposed 1418 map that proves China discovered the Americas and the entire world long before Columbus. So much so for the Chinese claims. Imperialistic, unrealistic, and hilarious too.